What if I told you a 5-year-old gaming PC someone gave me ended up running games in 2025 better than I could have expected because it was hiding something? I was given an old gaming PC. Was told it had a Ryzen 1400 GTX 1660, 8 gigs of RAM and a 1 terabyte hard drive. Pretty much a 2018 era build. Solid, pretty good back then, but let's be honest, it was pretty entry level even then. But I was curious. I figured I'd clean it up, benchmark a few games, maybe use it as a backup or give it to someone who needed a starter rig. But the moment I opened the case, that's when things got a little weird. I started by pulling out the GPU, checking the board. I pulled the CPU cooler, and that's when I realized this isn't a Ryzen 1400. It said Ryzen 1600. That's 2 extra cores and 4 extra threads. Basically a stealth upgrade, like buying a burger and finding out that they gave you a double. You're not going to find any complaints here. But as I started to dig deeper to clean the drive bays, I found something else. A 1 terabyte 2.5 inch SSD just chilling under the hard drive. Wasn't even plugged in, wasn't mentioned. Just sitting there, almost like a forgotten treasure. So now I'm thinking, okay, I gotta test this thing properly. So here's the benchmarks. So I decided to benchmark Fortnite first. In performance mode, obviously, 1080p, all low settings. I averaged about 90 FPS. Seeing some dips into the 70s and 80s depending on how crazy the fights were. It was surprisingly smooth. The GPU was doing quite a bit of the lifting. I think that one stick of RAM is really going to hold me back though. In Apex Legends medium settings, 1080p, I averaged 70 to 90 FPS. It's still totally playable. The 1600 actually helps in a lot of the team fights and the faster movement. Cyberpunk 2077 was a different story. With low settings at 1080p, I only averaged 30 to 50 FPS. You could say it's playable with FSR, but it's not really that good with this single stick of RAM. Valorant, on the other hand, at max settings 1080p, I averaged 180 to 200 FPS. Thing played like butter. This is where the older hardware really shines. Went ahead and tested GTA 5. I'm not a big fan of the game, but I know a lot of people still play it. With high settings in 1080p, I averaged 60 FPS pretty solidly. It's GTA 5. I mean, the game's probably going to outlive us all. So after receiving this PC thinking that it only had a Ryzen 1400 and just a standard hard drive, and finding that Ryzen 1600 plus an extra SSD, it went from a build to that's not too bad of a sleeper, all because I opened it up. In 2025, the thing still handles esport titles like a champ. Once you start getting into AAA games, obviously the single stick of RAM and the 6 gigs of VRAM really start to slow you down. The SSD makes the whole system feel pretty snappy. The Ryzen 1600 isn't dead yet. It's aging kind of like a budget wine. Better than expected, but still a little rough around the edges. I guess the moral of the story would be to always make sure that you clean and inspect your PC because you never know what could be hiding. Could be dust, or it could be an entire SSD that somebody forgotten about. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button for me. Drop your own PC discovery stories down in the comments. I know some of y'all got some crazier stories to tell than I do. And hey, subscribe if you want more real world PC stories, builds, and benchmarks like this one. I'll catch y'all in the next one.